The definition of evangelism, if I spell it right. The spreading of the Christian gospel by public preaching or personal witness. Zealous advocacy of a cause. I'm wondering if we're making evangelism a lot more complex than it really should be. What? There are conferences, there are resources, there are schools of evangelism, and my question is evangelism really that difficult? I don't think the problem is how much we know about the gospel. A common excuse is I simply can't share the gospel. I don't know enough. To my understanding, most people that have a desire to share the gospel are born again believers. Really what they could do is share their story about how God transformed their life. Recently, the Avengers Infinity War came out. A lot of my friends, including myself, were incredibly excited about that movie to the point where we couldn't stop talking about it. It wasn't hard to bring it up in conversation. It wasn't hard to discuss it or even talk about it with people we hardly knew. So, why is it so hard to talk about the good news? I think this definition is false. I think the concept of evangelism to the American church is a little mixed up. Is it really that hard to talk about something that transformed our lives? If I knew the cure for cancer and I kept it to myself until the day that I died, would you consider me a good person? I think the problem we find is not how much we know about the gospel, but how eager we are to share the gospel. Galatians 1:10, for am I now trying to persuade people or God? Or am I striving to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. The Great Commission is a command, not a suggestion. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. That doesn't sound like a suggestion. The problem is not how much we know about the gospel. The problem is, are we willing to be okay with the fact that people are going to make fun of us? People are going to condemn us. People are going to laugh at us. People are going to call us a joke. They're going to call us radical. But am I trying to please God or am I trying to please people? If you're trying to please people, stay home. Keep it to yourself. But if you're going to try to please God, get out there and talk to somebody about Jesus Christ.